Imagine just for a moment a world so different from our own. A world where that familiar map of the Americas, the vast expanse filled with nations, languages, and rich histories, never flickers in the minds of Europeans in 1492. Picture it. The very same year, Columbus was gearing up for his voyage, but in this alternate reality, he never sets sail. The oceans, they remain an impenetrable barrier. The New World, an enigma completely unknown. All that wealth, the gold, the silver, the magnificent civilizations remain untouched by European hands. Can you fathom it? The entire course of our planet's history, the rise and fall of empires, the very languages we speak today would be drastically altered. The Old World? It stays confined to its familiar shores. Meanwhile, the New World continues to flourish under indigenous civilizations, thriving in ways we can only imagine. And the age of explorer, in our timeline, Christopher Columbus set sail in 1492 under the Spanish crown, aiming to find a westward route to Asia. But instead, he stumbled upon the Caribbean. And that moment initiated centuries of European colonization, exploitation, and cultural upheaval. But what if Spain had turned him down completely? What if political turmoil, fear of the unknown, or just plain bad luck kept him docked? The Atlantic would remain this vast, uncharted sea. The Americas, they'd stay a mystery to Europe for decades, maybe even centuries. Without Columbus, think about it, the ripple effect of European exploration is thrown off course. No Spanish conquests in the Caribbean, no rapid stream of silver and gold flooding into Europe, which was crucial for Spain's rise as a global superpower. And let's not forget the devastating epidemics that altered the indigenous population's fate on Succon. The first consequence we have to face is geopolitical, right? I mean, think about it. Columbus's voyage really set off a chain reaction. Spain and Portugal, they just jumped in and carved up the New World with the Treaty of Tordesillas. This was the beginning of centuries of colonial domination. But without Columbus, Europe is stuck in this Mediterranean and Atlantic power struggle. Portugal, they stay focused on Africa, India, Southeast Asia. And Spain, sure, it's still a powerhouse in Europe, but they miss out on that American wealth, that windfall. Now, economically, we see a slower evolution in Europe. That huge influx of silver from the Americas, billions in today's terms, just wouldn't happen. The Spanish Empire, they don't have the resources to finance their wars across Europe, which could really weaken the Habsburg dynasty's grip on power. This delay, All right, let's take a moment to consider Europe in the 16th century, shall we? Picture this. Spain and Portugal, they're the titans of the seas, absolutely dominating the waters. Silver is pouring into Europe like a river, and colonies are popping up all over the Caribbean, Mexico, and South America. But let's not forget the indigenous populations. They're suffering greatly, their lives turned upside down. It's a real spectacle of European imperialism, isn't it? Now, let's shift gears. In this alternate world we're imagining, things unfold quite differently. Spain, still powerful, but without the immense wealth from the Americas, it struggles to keep its grip on supremacy. Meanwhile, Portugal, they're focusing more on Africa and Asia, possibly expanding their empire in the Indian Ocean. And what about England and France? They see their moment. They might seize the opportunity to, step one, imagine if Columbus never set sail at all. Spain instead redirects its resources elsewhere, and just like that, no immediate contact with the New World takes place. Step two, the Americas, completely unknown to Europe. Indigenous societies thrive, maintaining their agriculture, building their cities, and engaging in regional trade. The mighty Aztec and Inca empires, they flourish, while smaller nations rise to power. Step three, Europe would miss out on all that gold and silver, financing their expansion and wars. Spain, weakened compared to other European powers. France and England, they seize more influence. The entire balance of power in Europe shifts dramatically. Step four, the Columbian Exchange. It never happens in its original form. European diets remain limited, and agricultural revolutions in both the Americas and Europe, delayed. Indigenous civilizations thrive. You see, the Aztec, Maya, Inca, and so many other smaller civilizations, they continue to flourish, uninterrupted by the European conquest. It's remarkable. Languages, religions, and social structures, they evolve naturally without the heavy hand of forced conversion to Christianity or the imposition of European languages. Art, architecture, literature, and science from these societies, they blossom further, crafting unique cultural trajectories that are never, ever erased by colonization. Now let's talk about the delayed or different cultural exchange. European culture, believe it or not, takes decades to absorb American crops, foods, and resources. Can you imagine? Tomatoes, potatoes, cacao, maize, and tobacco, they only show up much later in Europe, which delays those culinary and agricultural revolutions. But here's the silver lining. Native? You see, Columbus's voyages were the spark that ignited this explosive era of European exploration. Without him, the wheels of maritime technology grind to a halt, and the allure of crossing the Atlantic fades into the distance. Imagine it. Shipbuilding, navigation, cartography, they all take a different path, perhaps turning their gaze towards the Indian Ocean and the shores of Africa instead. Now, let's talk about the incredible innovations that continue to bloom among Native American civilizations. They're not standing still. No, they're advancing in agriculture, architecture, astronomy, and engineering. Just think about it. The Inca roads and aqueducts, they're still expanding. And the Maya, their astronomical insights and calendrical systems are pushing the boundaries even further. Trade networks, they flourish, free from European interference, paving the way for groundbreaking innova. You see, Spain and Portugal, they hold on to their regional power, yet they never quite reach out to establish those American colonies. And that, my friends, it shifts the balance of power right here in Europe. France and England, they might just consolidate their strength a whole lot sooner than we think. And those smaller European states, they could find new opportunities to expand their influence elsewhere, opening doors they never knew existed. Meanwhile, Asia and Africa, they stand tall, maintaining their economic and political positions for just a little longer, all because those European empires are slow to take control of global trade. Now let's talk about that delayed Columbian exchange. There's no immediate transfer of plants, animals, diseases, and ideas between continents. So epidemics like smallpox, they're either delayed or reduced, giving societies a chance to hold on. A world without Columbus, it's a world filled with uncertainty, imagination, and profound possibilities. Picture it. Europe's rise is slowed, while the civilizations of the Americas flourish. Global trade, cultural exchange, and human demographics, they all unfold in completely new patterns. Just think about it. One man's voyage, or the absence of it, completely transforms the entire trajectory of history. It's a powerful reminder to question the fragility of historical outcomes. How much of our present is shaped by a single decision, a single voyage, a single failure or success? The ripple effects are enormous: economic, political, cultural, and ecological. And yet, the story remains unfinished. If Columbus never sailed, who would eventually take that leap? A Chinese fleet? A Portuguese armada? An English navigator centuries later? And when they did arrive, what world would the